But so skateboarding would be near it, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think if my life would have made a couple turns here or there, skateboarding might have been the career. It's just, I stuck with football over skateboarding, and I don't regret that. Obviously, my life turned out great, but I still enjoy skating. I don't do it as much as I should. Obviously, I don't want to embarrass myself, but my son, who's 6 years old, he's getting into it as well. So it's always something that I enjoyed doing as a kid up until high school, and now it's cool because I can kind of live vicariously through my son a little bit as he starts his journey with it as well.
well, I do all that just so Manny Santiago would not have to Google you.
Oh, sure.
Or us,
sure.
All right? But now he joins the show here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Manny, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
That's a heck of an introduction right there. I mean, I just want to give you all the background on Austen. But all he wears is Vans, so I figure that's got to be at least a step towards skateboarding.
No, that's a step forward, especially if his son skates too. He's going to have to take him to the park, which means the little kid's going to come out of him and he's going to want to push around. So,
without a doubt,
I think he's taking the right steps.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Brent.
Well, I just want to tell everybody, Manny's he's going to be in town, obviously, in Jacksonville in a bit as we get the big skateboarding championships right here in Jacksonville for the first time, which is really cool. But Manny also competed in the Tokyo Olympics for Puerto Rico and is a Street League Skateboarding Select Series champion back in 2013. So the skateboarding world knows exactly who Manny is. And Austen, you do too.
I do as well. And Manny, you mentioned it. So I have a 6-year-old son right now. He's just getting into skateboarding, and it's cool, watching him take that journey. I mean, a crazy thing about you is you were 14 years old when you started, and you started in Massachusetts, where in Massachusetts, it snows there, so you can't skate year round. What was that like, getting kind of a late start, and what was that progression like?
It's kind of like how you said, skateboarding found your son. He found a love for it. Skateboarding found me one day. It was just a bunch of kids skating, and then I really liked that they were having fun, and then I realized I can have fun, and it just became my oasis from reality. I was able to disconnect from the world and just do something I loved every day. And, just like with anything else, when life tries to tell you that you can't do it, you find a way. So we would shovel the skate park. We would skate at gazebos in certain parks. We would walk around with bags in our shoes so our toes wouldn't get wet. We did everything we could to be able to skate.
Wow. Manny Santiago with us here, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hey, Manny, when was the time where you were like, holy cow, I just did that? Like in those days that you're talking about, I was like, hey, I just did that. I might be pretty good at this.
I think it's just when you start to get creative within your field and realize that there's a lane for you that you want to explore. And mine was like flipping into handrails. And as I started to grow into that, I was like, wow, there is something for me here, and I would love to make this my everyday life. And you just got to sacrifice and be passionate about what you do, and I feel like you can accomplish whatever you want.
Well, man, and you mentioned, being passionate and accomplishing what you want. And obviously in street skating, you're going to take the injuries, man, if we're doing the stairs, if we're riding rails. And like for you, I'm so intrigued by it to kind of pick your brain a little bit because let's be honest, you're 36 years old. And from the outside looking in, people are going to say that's young. But in skateboarding years, having paid your dues, I mean, that's been a toll on your body. How have you been able to make it this far and obviously still progressing in the sport and being one of the favorites of the sport?
Well, for me is that I try to set no limitation when it comes to that. Yeah, for my age where I'm at in my career, like most people, we're just starting to break the barrier and the mold of age within skating. There's a couple other people like Ryan DeCenzo, Paul Rodriguez that we're all around the same age, and we're pushing our skateboarding still to this day. And for me, it's like I don't want to ever let off something that I love and admire. I have too much left in the tank, and I haven't even peaked yet. And that's the only thing that somewhat it's like scary and exciting because I'm 36, I haven't peaked yet. But like you said, how do I do it? I just got home from skating with Paul. We were training, getting ready for the contest, and I just got home, made a oatmeal smoothie with peanut butter and sat in some ice bags. So I just finished icing as the call picked up. So it's just by taking care of your body and putting the right stuff in your body and being able to keep yourself motivated. That's another one, is to keep yourself motivated within this kind of level, because this is a whole different level. Like I could still skate if I want for the rest of my life, but it's this kind of skating that it's hard to keep motivated. And I feel like there's too much to accomplish in life. And within skateboarding, that's what motivates me.
Well, and Manny, and you mentioned, the motivation and really it's the progression of the sport, because I'm sure as you were coming up, much like when I was coming up, it wasn't so much about, we didn't know how much the progression was taking part until we saw skateboard features getting released every year in a video, or we're going to competitions and you watch the X Games, like, okay, this sport has progressed by this much. Well, nowadays with social media and everything, I mean, someone lands something gnarly, it's like, okay, well, that's there for everyone to see right when it happened. How crazy has that been now in terms of the progression, where every single day someone's doing something new or something crazy, and it's like, how much added pressure is that to you to try to one-up those people?
Well, it's crazy because, like you said, when I first started skating, we were waiting every 2 to 4 years for a new video to come out, where there was like the girl video, the S video, the flip skateboards video, like a bunch of videos, and you had to wait those years to then know what was possible. Like what last trick Eric Austen was doing, what trick Chris Cole was doing, and and Scott Kane and all these other skaters. So you're like looking at that with those gaps. Nowadays with social media, you see it every single day. So it's like a double-edged sword, because it doesn't give like people enough time to actually digest what they're watching and give it time to appreciate it. But it's also speeding up the progress of progression, because you're seeing what can be done every single day, but by all these kids. And like I said, that's what motivates me, because I am one of those kids, and I still feel like I'm one of those kids. So I can't be outdone by the new school, because my school did it so hard that I feel like it's up to me to keep to let the world know that the experienced guys still have the flame inside. And usually in the past, people they reacted different to that. They just said, "Oh, my time's up." Well, we're trying to change. We want to represent the idea that we can skate as hard as we want for as long as we want. So even those people that start at 25 don't give up by 30. If they really want to pursue skating, they got the rest of their lives to do that. So
Manny
that's
Santiago,
like the motivation behind
sorry to cut you off there, man. Manny Santiago with us, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Street League Skateboarder World Championships coming to Jacksonville next month. How about coming to Jacksonville? This is new for us, right? I mean, what's your expectation deal? Obviously, I would assume you'd like to be in a new place and something different, but what are your expectations as someone who will be here actually performing for Jacksonville as a host?
No, I'm very excited. I grew up in the beginning of my career when it started to blossom down in Jupiter, Florida, so I'm very familiar with the Florida area, and I think it's amazing. There was just a big UFC fight there not too long ago, and it was crazy. So we're expecting it to be crazy and for a lot of people to come out and support. We're going to put on a good show. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to show people why skateboarding is so important. And I think we're just looking to have a good time. Jacksonville is a very beautiful area, and I think that you're going to see a lot of skateboarders around that weekend.
Hey, Austen, we've done some, promos we've cut before, like you were the mic guy and stuff for different events. Yeah. Manny, if you were, there's diehard skateboarding fans. I get it. But there's also a casual audience that you'd love to come down and check it out. What do you say to those folks? What's the sell? What are they going to see, be a part of, feel here in Jacksonville next month that's like, hey, bring your family down, check this out, because you don't want to miss it?
Yeah, no, they definitely don't want to miss it, because it's going to be the best skateboarding in the whole entire world in one building, one weekend, with the most emotional roller coaster within tricks that you will see, and the score jumping up and down, and the crowds yelling, and the people having a good time. People will leave the contest as new skateboard fans, and they will continue to follow Street League after that.
Man, I spoke with Paul Rodriguez a few months back. We did a face-to-face interview, and that was great. And I kind of got a glimpse of his mindset of, what he brings to the Street League and how he preps, and just, his mindset going through a competition. And, having seen videos of you before, it's always refreshing to see you, because you're always having fun with it, it seems like. You're always smiling, and really a big part of your brand is your smile, and your smile having a chipped tooth as well. I know how you did it, but can you kind of just share the story of how you chipped your tooth and why you decided to keep it chipped, or actually you lost the tooth and now you have a toothless smile, but why did you choose to keep that?
I just, the way I lost it was at a skateboard contest there in the amateurs, and I face planted onto the ground trying a trick that I've been doing all day. And then eventually when it got infected, I was stubborn enough to not realize that it was my tooth, and I was like 2 days away from dying from the infection. So when they finally pulled it, I was going through so much pain that I didn't want to deal with it. But it was my mom's encouragement that she told me, you know, because I really loved my smile. She told me it doesn't matter if you're missing a tooth, you're still beautiful regardless. So after she told me that, I was like, all right, my mom, the one that gave me birth, is okay with this, and I'm fine with it.
I love it.
Wow, what a story that is. Hey, where will you be coming from when you travel to Jacksonville, and what does a skateboarder's travel bag look like?
Well, I'll be flying out of most likely LAX, and for that weekend, since it'll be just like a 5-day, you know, I'll bring a couple pairs of shoes, you know, one to floss when I'm not skating on my chillers. Then just my cargoes, a bunch of T-shirts, definitely like a Normatec, like leg machine, some like ice pack stuff, and, you know, the heart and the will to bring home that W on the championship. So that's a pretty big bag I'm bringing.
That's awesome. Hey, give me your favorite, like, what's the best name of a trick in I say trick, a move. What should I say?
No, you're right.
No, you're fine, man. You're good. You're good, right. Brent. Yeah.
You actually said it right.
Brent, you're absolutely killing this right now. Brent, keep going, man.
I mean, last time I skateboarded, I was like 7 or 8, really, if I'm being fully honest. But what's like the best name? I mean, sometimes we come up with great names for X Games stunts. There you go, stunts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you said it right.
Do you have a
You said
favorite?
it right. It is tricks. I always feel like just for the crowd and for everyone, a 360 flip is always like the best, because they're thinking if the person's going to do a 360 or if the board's going to do a 360, and if they're actually going to do a backflip, but they're not, it's just the board does a 360 kickflip. So I feel like that's always like the go-to kind of people wondering, well, what's a 360 flip? Like they think the person's going to actually like probably do like a backflip. It's like that, just the board.
Manny, I got one last question for you, man. You know, Brent mentioned this in the beginning. You took part in the Olympics. I'll be honest, I never thought we would see skateboarding in the Olympics. Where is that moment on your career in taking part, representing your country, and literally just competing, you know, on the biggest stage possible to try to win a medal? What did that mean to you?
I mean, just like how I won my way into Street League, it was a milestone, because Street League is, you know, by far the most important contest right now in our industry for showcasing of the best street-style skateboarding within a skate park. But just like that, the Olympics was another milestone, like to be able to represent my country on the biggest stage in the whole entire world, alongside a bunch of my peers, and getting to meet like my countrymen who work just as hard as I do. That I feel like it's definitely a milestone, but I'm also shooting for a couple more Olympics. So it's just one for now, but we got many more things to accomplish.
I love it, man. Well, take it from someone who's 33 years old, who's still fighting in a cage, man. I got nothing but respect for you, and I'm be following you, man. Wishing you nothing but success.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And remember, it's not about the losses. It's about the comeback.
I like it.
We like that.
Always remember that, because I watched the fights. I watched a couple of the fights. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just keep going, don't stop. That's my attitude. It's about the story. It's not always just about like the things you accomplished within the story. It's the path. So thank you for doing that, going from one sport to another, and not being scared to put yourself in that situation. That's very important for the people to see. It's very motivating that you don't just have one path in life. You can have many paths.
Yeah, that's a great message, by the way. I mean, I wear makeup for a living on my other job, so.
Maybe you can start wearing wigs now. You can go from makeup to
Come on,
wigs.
Brent.
You can switch it up.
Step your game up, Brent. Let's go.
Hey, last one, Manny Santiago. We appreciate you joining us, man. Can't wait to see you next month. But Manny slays all. Was that given to you, or did you come up with that?
No, that was given through me by the owner of Thrasher magazine. At the time, I skated for one of his brands, and he realized in all aspects I slay all, so he gave me that name.
Well, hey, slay all when you come to Jacksonville, man. Appreciate talking to you and you taking the time.
All right, thank you. You guys have a wonderful time.
All right, that's Manny Santiago. Be here next month as the city of Jacksonville hosts the World Championships in skateboarding.